The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Earlier this morning, agents actually removed a significant portion of this barriers outside Delaney Hall in the area that activists had set up as an autonomous zone. Protesters were met with pepper spray and rubber bullets as they attempted to create a human chain blocking the entrance. DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen dismissing complaints about the food served there, posting, quote, "This is nothing more than a political stunt by New Jersey sanctuary politicians for fundraising clicks. There is no hunger strike at Delaney Hall. There are no subprime conditions." His comments follow New Jersey Democrat politicians joining the protest yesterday in a chaotic scene. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill and Senator Andy Kim denied entry there. Both are strongly criticizing ICE's presence in Newark.
This type of facility shows exactly why we should not have private mass detention facilities.
They were raising not just concerns about the conditions, but about how they are intentionally not being given access to the courts, that this is a farce of a system.
Delaney Hall is the same spot where Congresswoman LaMonica McIver was accused, I should say, of assaulting federal agents last year while trying to force her way inside. And McIver was on hand during yesterday's protest as well, calling for the site's closure.
Yes, my friends, welcome to Tuesday's edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. Many of you were with us yesterday as we honored America's military brave on Memorial Day. So I want to begin today with a look at New Jersey in particular. During the Revolutionary War, the first war that can be called an American war, New Jersey was at the crossroads of the American Revolution. There were over 600 600 battles, different skirmishes in the state of New Jersey alone, 600, as the Continental Army, along with local militias, tried to fight for America's and successfully fought for America's freedom. The total American death toll in the Revolutionary War is hard to gauge. It's believed to be somewhere between 4,000 and close to 9,000 American lives, although tens of thousands of more soldiers died of some sort of disease in encampments. There's no breakdown of how many of those were from New Jersey. The same with the War of 1812 and the Mexican-American War. There were national totals of the death toll, but none from New Jersey. However, we do know this. In the Civil War, according to the Family Search military records, there were about 6,300 military personnel from the state of New Jersey that were killed. 88,000 soldiers from New Jersey enlisted and marched for the Union Army. In World War I, 3,427 New Jersey military people were killed. Soldiers and sailors, mostly. 3,427. No, that information is gathered from the New Jersey State Archives. In World War II, ladies and gentlemen, 12,130 brave men, perhaps women, gave their lives in World War II. That information comes from the New Jersey Gold Star Veterans Gallery. Of those, 10,372 were from the Army and Air Force. 12,130 in World War II. In the Korean War, New Jersey lost 853 military personnel. In the Vietnam War, 1,488 in Southeast Asia. And in the War on Terror, and since then, over 151 people from New Jersey have lost their lives defending America. The total that we have, and again, that doesn't include, is over 24,000 people from New Jersey that we know of, and there are more, have lost their lives defending this country and this country's freedom. And so yesterday, on the day that was meant to honor those 24+ thousand people just from the state of New Jersey that have given their lives to America in defense of our freedoms, yesterday, instead of honoring those people in the state of New Jersey and around the country that have lost their lives defending America, the governor of New Jersey and the junior senator from New Jersey went to a rampage built on propaganda, no evidence, as you heard the DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen say, no evidence that there is truly anything happening in this facility that's wrong. And you saw near riot conditions, and they were still going on as of this morning. Instead of honoring American military on the day set aside for their honor, these two Democrats shamelessly went to protest people, ICE agents, and others who are still acting in service to this country's laws. I did not see one picture of Mickey Sherrill or Andy Kim at a gravesite. Maybe they were, and I just missed it, at a gravesite honoring the brave military people who have lost their lives in New Jersey. Instead, they're out there with lunatics who are shouting and are trying to abuse ICE officers with bullhorns, who are setting up roads, who are trying to abscond and perform their own security checks on people as if they have some kind of governmental authority. And this despicable behavior is not only approved of by the so-called governor of New Jersey and the junior senator, they are there in person to help participate in this ungrateful performance that was staged yesterday in New Jersey. It is disgraceful beyond belief. All the military people that have, all the families of people who have lost their lives in the military in New Jersey, I don't know how you look at these two and have any kind of respect for their behavior. I don't know how you do it. It is absolutely 100% disgusting. Outside, cut 17, this was the governor at the protest with rioters looking like they wanted to start another insurrection. She's being confronted by one of these lunatics herself and tried to respond to it and confront it because she hasn't done enough. Cut 17. Just listen to this.
Gabby has left here in her car. And you, 4 days for you to show up. If you don't try to get in there, shame on you.
We've been working working with ICE to get into the facility. I was just denied that this morning. I was hoping
Then try again.
Well, we certainly will, and that's what I've committed to doing, is continuing to try to do that. In the meantime, I think what's been so impressive is our federal delegation, who has the authority to go in unannounced. Now, my concern here is that they have not been let in. So Rob has been here since 8 o'clock last night waiting to get in.
We know. He stayed here overnight. We were here
yes,
too.
Ma'am. He has the authority to go in. What we are also doing, and I think it's incredibly important, beyond advocating to go in myself, is making sure that we are working through the court system to block the other mass detention facility that they are working to open in Roxbury. And we've been successful there right now at freezing that, because I think you can see with what's going on here, these private detention facilities, which I have long opposed, are not treating people in the humane way we'd want.
I think you can see here that these private facilities, which I have long opposed, are not treating people in the way. Says who? There is absolutely zero evidence of mistreatment that has been put on the table. Evidence. I'm not talking about talking points. And if there is evidence, we all need to see the evidence, and it needs to be corrected. But all of these accusations come with zero evidence. Nothing that Mickey Sherrill, whatever she calls herself, nothing that Mickey Sherrill, Andy Kim, or this other woman who tried to assault an ICE agent and is on trial for it, allegedly. There has been zero evidence put before any of us that these horror stories that they're talking about are real. Nothing. And on a day when the rest of the country was honoring America's heroes, these people are doing their best to show who they care about: illegal immigrants. It's the same as when Donald Trump stood at the State of the Union and asked Democrats to stand up if they put American citizens first or illegal immigrants first, and they all sat down. Mickey Sherrill and Andy Kim are among them. They won't even put American dead war heroes first and honor the day that was given for them. They put illegal immigrants, illegal aliens above American people and above American heroes. It is despicable. I've never seen anything like this on a Memorial Day. It is despicable what these Democrats are doing. And she should be ashamed of herself. If she had a conscience about what America truly was, she would be ashamed. But she's not ashamed. She's sitting there pandering. This woman's yelling at her, "It took you 4 days to get here." Wow, she just panders to people that are in this country illegally, above American heroes who have died for this nation. These Democrats are disgusting. Their actions are 100% disgusting. They don't deserve the power that they've been given. Disgusting. Let's take a break. It's James Golden and Snerdley. Fastest hour in American media continues. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
With James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, I took a risk and asked if we had this song, and we do. Basketball Jones. A basketball. My friends, in New York City, the local basketball team there, the New York Knicks, they were known as the Knickerbockers for years, but now they're just simply the Knicks, not the Knickerbockers, have apparently advanced and will be in the finals. Carlos sent me a story this morning. Carlos, please describe the story that you sent me, because it is too difficult for me to even say it.
Okay, let me put it this way. I told you yesterday that there were 2 tickets sold on courtside on Madison Square Garden for $130,000 each. And that was before even the Knicks won last night. And now I'm thinking that was a great price. Because this morning there were like some tickets for $500,000. And I was like, oh, man, we missed out.
Stop it. Stop it. People are paying $500,000 a piece for tickets to go see the New York Knicks play.
Oh, yeah. To enter the stadium is $3,500 at least. All the way up.
You can't get it. If you're going to sit in the nosebleeds, you have to pay $3,500. You have to pay $3,500 to sit up where you can't even see the players. That's $3,500.
And then they might lose.
And then and they might lose. And then for courtside tickets now, $500,000.
There was $1 million ticket, but I don't know if it was like one seat or like a package of like two of them together. But it was on the app. It said 1.061,000, like $1 million.
And you sent me an app of what houses you could buy with the money that people are spending for a single ticket.
Might as well
the houses that you could buy, a house that you could pay for in cash, buy with what people are spending for one basketball ticket to see the New York Knicks. Some people do have a basketball Jones. It's a real thing. Dribbling since just a baby. We'll be back.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The political fortunes continue to spin. In South Carolina, Republicans have joined with Democrats to block a redistricting effort there. The failure to approve a new map in South Carolina preserves the district of James Clyburn, the power broker within the Democrat Party, the first black member of Congress elected from the state in nearly a century. A contingent of Republicans in the state Senate joined along with Democrats to prevent South Carolina from implementing a new map and become a totally red state. Shades of Indiana. Meanwhile, in Alabama, federal judges stepped in yesterday and blocked Alabama's plan to use a congressional map that could give the Republicans an advantage. A 3-judge panel in the state's long-running redistricting case issued a preliminary injunction preventing the state from switching maps, ruling that the Republican black plan intentionally discriminated based on race by including only one black majority district. Ultimately, said the 3-judge panel, we cannot see our way clear to require Alabamians to cast their votes in the 2026 elections under a districting plan tainted by intentional race-based discrimination. Now that sounds wonderful. It sounds noble. It sounds virtuous. Why, ladies and gentlemen, we can't see our way clear to approve a map that's tainted by intentional race-based discrimination by removing these districts. But does that or does that not beg the question, if it's intentionally race-based, doesn't that mean that race was intentionally used to set up these districts? And if race was used to set up these districts, isn't that now, according to the latest Supreme Court ruling, against the law? So shouldn't this be going right back up to the Supreme Court? Because we're not supposed to have racially defined districts based on race alone. And that seems to be what this 3-judge panel in Alabama is saying. We can't get rid of it. It's race and race alone. And if it's race alone, that means the district is illegal. I guess we'll have to stay tuned. Tomorrow's going to be big deal. In fact, Princess Diana, I know you're out there. Tonight is the runoff in Tejas. So tonight is the night that it will be decided. Princess, tomorrow, if you can, maybe we should talk and go through this Texas race. Now, Cornyn is out, John Cornyn, trashing everywhere he can. Trashing Ken Paxton. In fact, he was on with Trey Gowdy the other night. That's cut one. Let's do that, Carlos. And then cut cut one first. And we'll pick him from there.
Well, I think I can help maintain the Senate seat in Republican hands. I won in 2020 by 10 points. Ken Paxton, as you know, is a flawed candidate. He's got scandal that follows him everywhere. He's survived so far. But if James Tallarico, who raised $27 million in the first quarter of this year alone, if he gets the chance to litigate all of these issues in the general election when there's just not Republicans voting, I think that the seat's very much at risk. And I do think also down ballot, as you know, I've served as a judge, attorney general, down ballot races, and I think Paxton might not only lose the Senate seat, but be the reason why we lose congressional seats, 5 new congressional districts, our judicial candidates, and a lot of local and state legislative races. So this really isn't just about me. This is about the Republican Party. This is about the state of Texas and what we've built here. And I don't want to see it slipping through our fingers because of a flawed nominee.
He also went on, and this is, cut number 18. He was on Fox News earlier, and this is what he had to say about Paxton. Cut 18.
Well, with regard to Ken Paxton, Texans have learned that you can't trust a thing that Paxton says because he's lied to taxpayers, his senior staff, got impeached by a Republican-led House of Representatives, and hung taxpayers with $6.6 million in a judgment from whistleblowers who turned him into the FBI because he was interfering with a federal investigation of one of his campaign donors. And look, Lawrence, I've supported the president's agenda the whole time that he's been president. I'm proud of the fact that we confirmed hundreds of justices, including 3 new Supreme Court justices. I was the whip or the chief vote counter during his first term when we passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and in the Working Family Tax Cuts Act this time. So I've been an ally of the president. He's called me a friend. I understand he's made his choice, but only Texans get a chance to vote in this primary, and I'm hoping that those who did not vote early and the 75% who didn't vote at all in the primary will come out today and cast their vote.
So we have that. Now, some might ask, well, Cornyn. What's wrong with Cornyn? Well, one of the things that Cornyn forgot to mention when he was going through all of that is that when Donald Trump wanted his support back in 2016, Cornyn decided to stay neutral in the primaries. And Trump remembers that. He said that Cornyn was not supportive of him when times were tough. When Trump was looking to come back in 2024, John Cornyn said of Donald Trump, Trump's time has passed. Trump's time has passed him by. And he suggested that Donald Trump wasn't electable. So, now, let me just say this about that. I am not... I'm not a fan of Ken Paxton. How can I just put it plain? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of John Cornyn either. I'm not a fan of either of these guys. But the voters of Texas will decide, and I am not going to be unhappy if Ken Paxton wins. Not in the least bit. I'm not a fan, but that doesn't mean he can't do a good job. Now, CNN went on Harry Enton. We're not going to play the full thing, but cut 19. This is too long to play the full thing. Cut 19. And we'll listen in what their prognosis is.
Right now, a CNN political analyst and national political correspondent for Axios, Alex Thompson. It's good to see you, Alex. I mean, how close is this thing, do you think?
I can tell you Republicans think it's basically over. And the fact that you have John Cornyn, trying desperately to show that he is aligned with Trump, even as Trump has, endorsed his opponent, just shows how powerful Donald Trump is. I mean, I think that voter that Arlette interviewed really said it all, is that even though his poll numbers with independents and Democrats are way down, that he is still the largest force in the Republican Party. And, him doing this to John Cornyn isn't just about Texas and Ken Paxton. It is about actually the next election cycle in 2028 and making it very clear to every Republican lawmaker that you should comply with Donald Trump's wishes, or else the same thing could happen to you.
Yeah, and Washington Post reminded me this morning of just what John Cornyn has meant for Texas politics. It's just a good reminder of like the then and the now comparison, Alex. And Cornyn, this is how they put it in the Washington Post. Cornyn has never lost an election in Texas and was a pioneer in the 1990s effort to turn the state red. He was the first Republican elected to be the state's attorney general since Reconstruction and transformed the office into a national force for conservative...
Stop right there. The Washington Post is praising John Cornyn's record today. He was a pioneer in helping to turn the state red. He transformed the office of Attorney General and got them to move forward on things. Until now, the Washington Post and the liberal base has hated everything about Texas. They hated the Texas turn red. You have Democrats now in the Washington Post, on CNN. You had, even some on Fox, some Republicans going on about how wonderful John Cornyn is. John Cornyn, he's just great. He's just the best. He was a pioneer. If it wasn't for John Cornyn, why Texas wouldn't be? He was so wonderful. He's so great. That ought to tell you all you need to know. All of a sudden, the left loves John Cornyn. They hate Ken Paxton, and they hate the idea of him assuming any power. So, how should you view this? Easy. If the left absolutely hates it, the left absolutely hates Ken Paxton with a fury. They hate Ken Paxton so much that they will praise a Republican that they've never praised before. He's a pioneer. He's so great. He transformed Texas and made it red. Yay. He raised money. He's good. If the liberals hate Ken Paxton so much that they are willing to praise Cornyn, it ought to be clear who they fear more. And that ought to be a hint to voters as to which way in Texas they should go. When we get back, the clip, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Carlos, executive decision. Yesterday, a lot of people were doing holiday things, and they didn't hear the clip of the day yesterday. Let's go back to yesterday. For those of you that have heard it, I'm sorry. Because the clip of the day, we're going to play the clip of the day again. It'll be the clip of the day today as well. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Yesterday, my friends, we did a major segment with Dean Karayanis, our historian, on the joys of Labor Day. Memorial Day. The honor of Labor Day and the history of Memorial Day in the country. And he stayed with us during the hour, and he heard the clip of the day. And so for the benefit of those of you that weren't here, that were doing Holiday Matters, honoring the fallen heroes in America, we did have a clip of the day that was unrelated to most anything. But it was the most unusual clip of the day, and that, because of its unusuality, is one of the measures that we use to pick the clip of the day. So for those of you that weren't here, we thought that we would play the clip of the day again. And here it is, the clip.
We begin, though, with a disturbing break-in in downtown Phoenix. It has led to horrific charges, really unimaginable charges against a local man. 31-year-old Fenris Liu is accused of using a crowbar to break into the Maricopa County Medical Examiner's office and gaining access to corpses. And according to multiple law enforcement sources, Liu was caught on camera breaking the seal on several body bags and having sexual contact with several of the bodies. This morning, he was arrested, and he is now facing multiple felonies, including burglary, escape, and 4 counts of sexual conduct with a dead body. The prosecution has sealed court documents to protect the integrity of the investigation and allow officials time to notify the victims' families. Liu is currently being held on a $500,000 cash bond.
It was suggested that when he leaves, they put an ankle monitor on him, and Dean suggested that no, an ankle monitor was not enough. They need to put a monitor on some other part of his anatomy. We have to leave. You're listening to Miles Davis. Miles Davis passed away on this day. His heavenly birthday. He passed away in September of 1991. On this day in 1926, he was born. One of the greatest ever in the jazz world. Miles Davis. And while we're at it, let me just make a note. Yesterday, we lost one of the greatest saxophonists ever. Sonny Rollins passed away at 95. So we have to go. May God bless and protect each and every single one of you, your family, and your loved ones. Love and gratitude, my friends, for your being here with me and allowing me to be with you. We're expecting tomorrow a royal statement from Princess Di on the goings-on in Texas tonight. She has promised to issue a royal statement to us. Okay, in the meantime, in between time, I bid you adieu. And if you're in Texas, get out and vote. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?